Hello and welcome back to Travel Buddies. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you have visited us before, welcome back. And if this is your first time clicking on one of my Travel Buddies videos, like, comment, and subscribe, shall we? But today it's going to be a little bit of a story time from way back in the day. This story time happened when I had to travel for work. Now, when I do these story times, usually it's fun vacations with me and hubby because we love to have a good vacation. But this vacation was a work vacation. Now, hubby used to travel a lot with work, and I did a few times with work. I used to travel with Olin Mills. I used to be a traveling photographer back in my day. But this one was actually with a company, and I'm not going to say the company's name, but this company was doing training in our Tennessee location because we were closing down our New Orleans store and they were moving to Tennessee. So they went ahead and they needed a few of us to do training in this location. So let me give you a little backstory before I get into this story time. The company was a company that when something happened, it was always last minute. They were the most last minute getting stuff done place I can ever have worked for. But anyway, let's get started. And again, you know I love my story times in this video. So if you're interested in other story times, make sure you subscribe so you can hear them. But let's get started. Okay. I was chilling on a Friday, about to leave work, and my boss called, and she called my desk, and she said, "Hey, do you mind working next week in training some new accountants and new payables people coming in on the new system because they're going to be transferring some more stuff over to their office. And so I just need you to help train on the system next week." And I was like, "Sure, I will go. I don't mind." And she said, "Okay, good." She was like, "So I'm going to need you to be there on Monday." I said, "No problem, no problem." And so she said, "Okay, I'm going to get your flight and stuff. Travel going to get your flight and stuff, and they're going to contact you for your flight on Monday." I said, "Okay, no problem at all. You know, I'm good with it." So she said, "Okay." So that was Friday afternoon. Saturday, chilling at home, chillaxing, and I get a call from my boss on Saturday because I hadn't got any itinerary, anything on my travels for Monday. So she called me Saturday and she said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that they're going to be sending your itinerary to you via email." And back then, email was not like email. Now, it wasn't on your phone. Like, you had to go and log into a computer to find out what your email was, okay? So she was like, "So they're going to be sending you an email with all your information. But don't worry, because I'll be going as well." So I'm like, "Okay, cool, sweet." So I hang up the phone with her. So never checked my email, y'all. It was back in the day when they tell me I have to travel somewhere, I'm going to be at the airport. No itinerary, no nothing. When I tell y'all need your itinerary, y'all need your itinerary, okay? So Sunday comes about. I'm chillaxing, chilling out, not even thinking about having no itinerary, going to no traveling. All I know is I got to be there Monday morning. I'll worry about Monday morning when Monday morning gets here, right? So about 10 o'clock, I get a call from my boss. And she said, "Hey, I noticed that you didn't reply to the email." And I was like, "No, I was going to check it tomorrow." Like, I was going to literally get up that morning, check it, pack a bag, and be ready to go. Because I'm thinking, flight, it's probably going to leave about 9. And she said, "Well, you might want to check it because your flight is for 5 in the morning." Now, when she called me, because we were pretty cool. When she called me, it was probably about 10 o'clock Sunday night, okay? So I'm like, "Oh, wow." She was like, "Yes. And let me tell you what your itinerary is." So she pretty much told me everything that was on the email that I didn't check. So I was like, oh wow. So I was like, okay. So I hung up the phone with her, and yeah, I was not even at home. Okay, I was chilling in my mama's house. I wasn't even at home. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I was like, okay. So I get up, rush, because I have to go now. I have to pack. I have to figure out how I'm gonna get to the airport, all that great stuff, right? Because me, I'm thinking I have time, all the time in the world. But I was young, not thinking, okay. So I pack up my bag to go to catch my flight for 5 a.m. So my mom, like, you got to be there for 4. And I'm like, 4 o'clock? No, indeed. So I'm ready at 4:30, okay? So the airport is 30 minutes away from me, okay? But luckily it was 5:35. My boss knew if she told me the real time, yeah, I would have been there, leaving my house at 5:30. So my mom got me there one time, and I checked in and went ahead, got on my flight, no harm, no foul. So I get to my destination in Tennessee. When I get to Tennessee, my boss told me that, which car company that I was going to deal with. But I wasn't tripping. I was like, oh, she going to be here. So I ain't even tripping. I'm going to find her around here. She telling me about the car. Why I got to worry about the car? Because I had my own car. See, she knew what she was doing. She got there earlier than me. So I went over to the car dealership place, because this is before cell phones. You can't just pick up a cell phone and ask. So I went to the car place and asked, did we have a car? And I said we, like it was somebody else. And they said, well, you have a car. So I said, okay. So I got the car, whatever. And finally figured out life. Because again, I was all scattered. I didn't know nothing. I literally, this was my first travel trip with that company. So I was like, all I was worrying about was my outfits was cute. I wasn't caring about nothing else, no details, no nothing. Luckily, she knew that about me. That's why she called probably, but no harm, no foul. So I drive to my hotel. Now, this is Monday morning, okay? So I get to my hotel and they tell me check-in time is not till 3. So I'm like, dang. Now, mind you, when I left to go to the hotel, I had on a pair of jeans, some t-shirt. Like I wasn't worrying about, I had my suits in my bag, but I wasn't worrying about dressing up. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, dang, I can't check it till 3. And so they left a note at the desk. See, my boss already knew who she was dealing with. To me, this was the address to the office that I needed to be there when I arrived. What? So I'm like, well, I need to go and change. I don't have my suit on, nothing. Like, I can't go to the office like this. So the lady, told me where I could change and everything like that. So I took my luggage, changed, put my luggage back in the car, and headed to the office. So I get to the office about 10, 11:30, 12 o'clock. Get to the office and my boss was like, you finally made it. I said, yeah. She said, I bet you went to check in, huh? I said, uh-huh. She said, I bet you wasn't even dressed for work, huh? I said, uh-huh. She said, I know you so well. That's why I left the note at the desk. So it was what it was. We laughed it off or whatever. So I went to start my training or whatnot. Mind you, that Monday was July 3rd. So the next day was the 4th of July. And, yeah. Nobody was working the 4th of July in that office, okay? So I'm doing my training and whatnot. So my boss was like, oh, travel booked you for the whole week. So you're going to be here during the 4th of July. And I was like, okay, I don't care. So I'm young on a travel trip. Like, I'm excited about just being on a travel trip. So I was like, well, okay, fine. Sounds great to me. Sounds great to you. Okay. So, I did my training most of the day on Tuesday, and everybody pretty much left early that day, including my boss. She had to fly back home. So I said, okay. So I went ahead. Now, mind you guys, when I tell y'all, I don't know where my head was. I went ahead and when everybody was leaving out at 3 o'clock, because everybody was leaving early, so nobody didn't do lunch or anything that day because they were leaving early. My boss left first. She left about 2:30, and everybody else started clearing the office about 3:30. I had my wallet, um, and my phone, no, yeah, my phone um, on the desk, and my purse sitting on the side. And the reason I took my wallet out is because I was looking for um, the a card that was in my wallet. Okay, so I had set my wallet on the desk. I went ahead when everybody said, "Oh, let's go." Picked up my purse, leave out the office, and I said, "You know what? Let me go check in, and then I'm gonna go get me something to eat." So I went checked into my hotel, asked them what was the best restaurant to go to, and they were like, there's this place right on the hill or whatever, and they're gonna be doing fireworks and everything tomorrow for the 4th of July. I was like, okay, great. So I go to sit down at the restaurant, order my food, and decide to order me a glass of wine. So I went ahead and asked for a glass of wine. And so the gentleman said, I need to see your ID. And I was like, sure. So I opened up my purse, and there was no identification. I had left it in my wallet sitting on the desk. So I'm like, what in the world? So I jump up and I said, oh, stop. Let me go get my wallet. So I get in the car, and for me, not knowing that I left it sitting on the desk, I thought I left it at the hotel. So I run back to the hotel, looking through everything in the hotel. It's not at the hotel. Run to the front desk, not at the front desk. So I'm like, okay, where the freak is my wallet? Like, I'm out here by myself, no wallet, no money. I'm gonna be here for 5 days. What's life? Like, I have nothing. Like, I can't even call my mama to wire me any money because I don't have any identification, because everything is in my wallet. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm like freaking out. So I'm like, okay, let me go back to the office, right? Now, mind you, everybody was leaving at 3 o'clock. So I get back, I pull back up into the office, and there's one vehicle in the whole big old parking lot. There's one vehicle. So I'm sitting in my car, and I'm like, what is life right now? Like, what is going to happen if this car that's here is a broken down car and somebody left for the weekend and they just left their car and nobody's in there and I can't get in? What is the odds? I have no phone, because my phone back then, it was like a prepaid type phone thing, but that was my communication. It's in the office. Yeah, I have no, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm lost right now. So I'm sitting in the car, like, scolding myself, because I don't even know if it is in the office. Like, so I said, let me get out the car and check the vehicle. So I checked the car. It's a rental. Nothing in there. So I checked my purse again. Nothing in there. This time, it's about 4:50. Okay. So I'm like, I don't even know how I'm gonna get into the office. Like, let me go see if the door is open, right? So I get out, and I go to the door of the office building, and I try to open it. All the doors are locked. So I turn back around and I go sit in my car, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm stuck at this point. Like, I'm way away from home. I don't have phone. If I did have somebody to send me anything, I can't get it because I don't have no identification. Like, I'm just stuck out here. I'm just stuck, right? So I get up, and something told me to go knock on the door, right? I said, maybe this one car that's here is somebody. So I get up, and I'm like, that's so dumb. And at this point, I look at my clock on the rental car, and it says 5:01. I get out the car, and I said, it won't hurt to just try to knock, right? Use the key and kind of try to knock. See if I can get anybody. Because at this point, I'm just out of luck at this point. So I get out the car, close the door, and I start walking to the door of the office, because I'm parked right in the front. And as I'm walking to the door, a gentleman is walking out, and the door is closing. And I'm like, hold the door! Like, that's how I felt like in my head. Like I was doing a movie. Like, hold the door! And the door closes, and I'm like, my life is over. Like, I have nothing. I have nothing. That's me in my mind being dramatic at this point. So the guy looks and he's like, "Can I help you, ma'am?" Because again, I'm from another office. I don't work here, so he don't know me. So he's like, "Can I help you, ma'am?" I was like, "Yes, I'm from the other office, and I was here helping, and I think I left my wallet sitting on the desk, and I can't." I was like, "That's my only, like, I have nothing. It has my identification in it, all my money in it, all my credit card. I have nothing. I have nothing." And he says, "Wait, you work with," and he says my boss's name. And I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, she was here this morning." I say, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Why are you giving me pleasantries? Like, right now I'm dying. I have nothing." And so I'm like, "Yeah, I, I, I do work with her." Like, I'm like, really like, why are you asking me these questions, dude? Like, why? And he was like, "Oh, shoot. And let me see. They locked all the doors." I'm like, "No, really? No, really." That's what I'm saying in my head, right? So he was like, "Let's go through the employee side. I have my key fob." I was like, "Oh my goodness." And I'm thinking to myself, "Dude, you just let me into this office. You really don't know who I am, dude." But he knew my boss and everything. So he went ahead and he clicked the key fob. He was like, "Here you go." And he was about to walk up. And I was like, "Wait. Don't leave me now. Don't leave me. Because you about to let me in this office. I don't know nobody there, nothing. I don't even know if the door to their office, where the accounting office is actually open or locked, right?" But nothing, everything had not been set up yet. So it wasn't locked or anything. In the scheme of things, it would have been locked if everything was up and running, but it wasn't. So he comes with me in, and he opens the door, and he comes in, and so he starts talking about people that he knew over there, and come to find out, his cousin is actually a person that works in my office. So when he realized my name, he was like, "Wait a minute," So we got the pleasantries out once I walked into the office to get my stuff. So I went, got my wallet, and I was like, "Here it is." And I'm trying to show him my ID. I'm like, "See, it's me." I'm not taking nobody else's stuff. It's like, no, like, you trust me. The way you just looked seemed like you was about to cry. He was like, "But you would have just missed me, and nobody's gonna be here tomorrow." And I'm like, "I know." Like, I would have went. It wasn't been too bad. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like I was in my car where I can shrivel up some change or anything. Even though I was at a hotel, they did have free breakfast. I probably could have had breakfast for lunch or dinner. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't gonna die, but it was just a principle. So I go ahead and get my stuff. I'm thinking. And I head back to the restaurant, be embarrassed and everything, and order my dinner and everything. So I'm sitting and I'm talking to the waiter or whatever. And then I turn around and I'm talking to one of the girl cousins who work in the office. And she was like, "Oh, we all gonna be hanging here tomorrow for the 4th, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "Okay, I'll be here, blah, 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 blah." So after dinner, I leave. The 4th of July, I come there, watch the fireworks for everybody, have a great time. When I'm leaving, the girl that works in the office, she was like, "Hey," so I went, got in the car, started up the car and everything, and she was like, "Wait, I wanted to show you something." So I get out the car and I close the door, and when I close the door is locked, and the car is running. This is the 4th. Now, this is the next day. So we go inside or whatnot, and when I come out, I'm like, "Oh, shoot, I left the car running." But she just called the rental car, and luckily they had somebody in the area 5 minutes away, came, unlocked the car, and I was Gucci. And the rest of the time I was there, I was very, very careful. I wasn't leaving nothing. I wasn't locking anything in the door. But that's the story time of the time that I thought I was going to be on a work vacation with no money and no identification. So if this is your first time watching one of our travel buddy videos, welcome. And if you want to hear more funny, crazy, and retarded stories, stay tuned. It's always important to have your itinerary, know where you're going, and always have a travel buddy. And on that note, even if you're solo tripping, your travel buddy can be on your phone, on your computer, or just watching me. And thanks again for watching Travel Buddies. Until next time, peace.